Be back. Testing. Joe took advantage and went to make a little drinky poo. All right, Joe's back. Let's see. Hey, we're back. Is anyone still out there? I hope you guys didn't dip out because we got a lot of info to share with you guys. I got some buttons to press. Looks like our upload speed went
kaputs.
It's deado. Let's see. Okay, I have lots of errors going on.
You know, man, you know what they say about the internet, man? They say that when it dips, you dip.
Bitch.
Yep, that's right, man. And when it dips, you dip, we dip.
It dips, you dip, we dip. Says you're back, but pixelated. Our upload speed is horrible right now. Unfortunately. Should be getting a little better. I'm getting more green lights. Pressing buttons. You know, it's all about pressing the buttons. That's how you solve stuff.
No doubt, man. No doubt. They should have taught us how to do that at school.
Exactly. That should have been part of home ec. Mash buttons.
Seriously, mash buttons.
Mashing buttons is the most important thing ever.
Indeed, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we've got a steady stream, so let's keep moving. We don't want these people to get bored with us, you know, because we got tons of recipes to share. I don't know where you guys left off at, but chopped onions. I like to do different size onions for texture in the mouth. I add 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. Then as the fish is in the back with some salt on it, I squeeze my lemons. Squeezing lemons. You're squeezing lemons.
Squeeze the lemons.
Exactly. You're squeezing it. And you want enough to cover everything. And if you know what, if you don't have enough, you throw some Joe's all pixelated again.
So I'm trying to it's all right. I'm trying to do a thing.
You're fixelating.
I'm trying to do a thing. There we go.
So you want enough lemon juice to cover your onions, your fish, and then you want to put aichombo in there or hot peppers in there.
Hot peppers, boy. Everybody loves them hot peppers, man.
Yeah, some people use hot sauce. I like to use regular peppers because it's heat and flavor. When you add hot sauce, you're adding spices, which will change the flavor. But to each his own. It's all cool. And you know what? When
you put the salt, do you go like this? Do you do the salt like this?
Like, wait, hold on. Like how? Oh, yeah.
Like this.
Right. The first time I do it like this, but when you're adjusting, when you need to make precise amounts, you got to do this.
For sure.
And you have to make the sound. You go.
If not, it doesn't work.
So as far as heat, the funny thing about ceviche is that I've put in the difference between 2 aichombos and 5 aichombos is it doesn't get that much hotter, but it really does taste good.
Man, I love the taste of ajichombo, man.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice flavor. And of course, you're going to want to put some culantro in there. And if you're in the U.S., just go ahead and grab some cilantro. Don't worry about it. As long as you make it, because then you'll see that it's easy. Now, here's where the training wheels come in, Joe. You ready?
Yes.
Maybe my explanation still hasn't convinced you. You know, you've looked at the recipes, but you're still worried about the fish. No reason to stress. Because you guys are going to think this is silly, but once you try it, you're going to be making this all the time. Yeah. So instead of putting fish into your ceviche, you can make ceviche out of garbanzo beans.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot faster to make. It'll help you with your recipe. You can try out your lemons first. You can try out the recipe. And also, it's vegetarian. Maybe you have some vegetarian friends coming over and you don't know what to make, but you have one of these on the thing. And you're like, hey, I'm from Panama, so I made you garbanzo bean ceviche. Just try it. You'll be able to figure out your list of ingredients when you make ceviche with fish. And maybe you're still kind of on the fence. You're still not sure about fish. So make it with this, and I'm telling you, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna devour it, and then that'll give you the confidence to make it with fish. And then when you have a party, you can make one with fish and one with garbanzo, so that everyone can enjoy your perfected recipe.
Dude, that's amazing, man. That's like a freaking amazing dose of information.
Drain the water. Just make sure you drain the water.
Right. Okay. Key: drain the water from the can, folks.
Yeah.
strain the water because you want to have the fresh garbanzo beans there, man.
It's delicious. It's really good. Gail, I learned that from Gail Salucci.
Word?
Word. And
Shout out to
as soon as
Gail.
I tasted, I was like, this is amazing. I loved it. And you know,
That's
maybe
pretty cool.
maybe you have some lemons in your house and you don't feel like going to the fish market, but you've got a can of garbanzos on the cupboard. Just do it. You're gonna love it.
Hey, HB, you know what they say, man? When life gives you garbanzo beans, make some ceviche.
I like it.
That's what you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do with your garbanzo beans.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
I love it. This is one of my favorite, and people are like, that's so silly. I was like, try it, and you're gonna thank me.
Right? That's really cool, man, because I think for the most part, at least I know me myself, I've never ever made ceviche. And I think the thing that would scare me the most is the fish. Because I wouldn't want to like under I don't know. I just wouldn't be I wouldn't want to be responsible for giving a bunch of people food poisoning.
All right. Well, maybe this is a good time to share some people are worried about getting sick. So bacteria can only live on the surface of whatever you're cooking.
On the surface, it cannot live within it.
It cannot live within it. You know, maybe in pork you could have trichinosis, but you know what? The cases of trichinosis are like 1 or 2 a year, and that's mostly from people who go and hunt. You know, so
right.
Your chances of getting trichinosis from pork is very, very low.
I love me some pork.
As far as food poisoning, you have to think of surfaces. So if you buy ground beef and that gets old, there's a lot of surface in there. So that's a higher probability of having food poisoning. If you have a big chunk of meat and you cook it on all sides and you bring it up to temperature, the probability of getting food poisoning from that is very low. A lot of people talk about cross-contamination.
Yeah.
I've had the luxury of cooking in different types of kitchens. I've cooked in kosher kitchens and Mediterranean kitchens. And a kosher kitchen actually uses a different cutting board for meats, vegetables, hot and cold. Very fascinating. You have a question, Joe?
Oh, no. I was just going to say, so then two things actually. So if I have let's say I have like a steak, right? And I just cook it on the outside, but the inside is still very rare. It's fine.
It's fine. Bacteria such as salmonella, listeria, all those types of things live on the surface.
All right. See, that's good to know, man. If you didn't know, you heard it here first. Bacteria lives on the surface. So make sure you cook.
A lot of people
thoroughly.
would like to know whether or not they should wash their chicken.
Right.
For the most part, you shouldn't, because what you're actually doing is spreading the bacteria.
Wow, look at that.
And increasing the probability of infection. So you don't have to wash your chicken. Sometimes your chicken might smell a little off. That might be the blood that's, those little tampon things at the bottom of the chicken tray.
Yeah.
Usually it's there. And if you think the chicken looks good, just trust your nose. Your nose is your biggest ally in the kitchen. It's going to tell you when you should cook something or throw it away. It's going to tell you when things are done. We're going to get into the most important cooking tip, in my opinion. And we're going to do that later. It looks like there was a power outage.
Was it over where you are or here where I am?
It was here. It was here. It looks like we still have internet. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Joe.
Sorry, man.
Do you see any gorillas? Do you see King Kong?
I thought I had a power outage here because I saw like a flash of light and I was like, was that here? Or maybe because you had a lightning strike.
Yeah, but I have the internet on a battery.
Right. Okay. All right. So that was a flashlight I saw, man. No gorillas to report at this time.
Hey, if you guys are out there, let us know if it's pixelated, if the sound's messed up. We need the help of the RapScallions. We apologize for the pixelation and the power outage, but you know what? It's out of our hands, man.
Hey, man, we are just along for this ride, this internet ride.
Yeah.
And we're happy that you're with us. And remember, when life gives you garbanzos, make ceviche. We should make T-shirts that say that.
You could. When life makes you lemons, make garbanzo ceviche.
Make garbanzo ceviche. Oh no, man! And then
Joe, think about it. Maybe you've planned out this meal, and then at the last minute, someone WhatsApps you and is like, "Hey, I'm vegetarian," and you're like, "Oh my god, everything has meat." You can make a quick ceviche out of garbanzos. It takes 15 minutes and it doesn't have to cook. You can eat it immediately.
Yep.
So keep that one in your back pocket. You're going to love
Keep it in your back pocket, man. Ace up your sleeve. Ace up your sleeve, man.
Nice.
I think I'm
Carina Manning
pixelated.
says, hey, we still here. Thank you so much for
Cool.
backing us up.
And we have Randy Webb on the Instagram says, hello.
Hey, what's up, Randy? Say hi to your pops for me. Oh, looks like we have some pixelation again. Man, that internet's all over the place. That's okay. That's okay. We'll fix it.
We'll fix it, man. We'll fix it. You know, I have several different. How many cutting boards do you recommend one has? Because we have these like little things here in my house. So we cut things on different surfaces depending on what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helps. I've never done that before. I used to have one cutting board for everything, but now I think I'm like, hey, it's pretty cool.
Right. So it's a personal preference. And what I do recommend is do not use glass cutting boards because those will ruin your knives. It ruins the blade. And plastic, it's a bit of a personal choice here, but wood has natural antibiotics in it. When you use wood, it helps. It's not a place for bacteria to thrive because think about a tree has natural defenses. It's not like if you throw a dead chicken against a tree, there's not going to be bacteria growing there. But think about a petri dish. A petri dish is a piece of plastic where if you put bacteria, it grows. It grows. So I recommend bamboo or wood cutting boards. Plastic, maybe if you're use it only for vegetables and fruits, like the convenient thin ones that roll up.
Right.
Don't cut meat on those because they're a perfect environment for, you know what? Stay away from plastic. I said it. I'm sorry. I got to go there.
Hey, let me tell you guys something, man. The situation is drastic. Stay away from plastic.
Yeah.
Boom.
Hey, Carina Manning says it's not the internet. It's part of that dream Joe had.
Oh,
hey,
my
Joe,
God.
This is like Inception, Joeception.
Am I still asleep? Is that what's happening?
That's right. We're all in your dreams, dog, talking about your favorite recipes. That's a good dream, right?
Goodness. Yeah, that is a good
Buffalo
dream.
King Kong wings, man.
Oh, my goodness. That is a good dream.
All right. So what other questions have you guys got for me? If you're out there in internet land, let us know. If you have questions about ceviche, if you have questions about cutting boards, if you have questions. I'm prepared. Like I talk about kitchen basics if you guys want to know about that. But we got to get through some recipes first because we're sharing family secrets on this show. Joe,
don't be basic. Ain't nothing basic about RapScallions kitchen recipes, yo.
This will make your kitchen experience more fun.
Definitely. Check us out, HB. I went through the ringer, man, because when we first started talking about it, I was like, man, I haven't cooked anything in a long time. And I was beating myself up. I was like, but then I had to stop for a minute. I was like, wait a minute, I've cooked some things. So then I remember I was thinking back. And then when I lived in Scotland, of course, I cooked a lot of, so I would have dinners with my friends and I would be like, oh, I'm going to make you guys some Panamanian dishes, blah, blah. And it would be a challenge, right? To find all these different ingredients in Scotland. Thankfully, a lot of them get imported in from, like African countries or the Middle East or whatever. So you could find your gungo peas, which are the wandu. You could get the wandu. You could get the coconut, the coconut milk, whatever, for the coconut rice. You could get the cassava for the yuca. You could get a lot of different things, different meats to make man, it's escaping me now.
Picao.
Bife picao, exactly. So I was like, okay, cool. So I managed to do a lot of those great things back in Scotland. So then, of course, when I came back to Panama, I was missing some of the dishes that I enjoyed so much when I was living in Scotland. And one of those dishes was the haggis. Love me some haggis. Yes. Love me some haggis. And for those of you out there in internet land that don't know what haggis is normally made of, so it is something that contains the heart, liver, and lungs of a sheep. And this is put in like a nice little pouch, and it is minced with onions, oatmeal, spices, salt, and other different things. It is normally encased in the sheep's stomach, and you prepare this, you like boil it, and then when you cut it open, it's just like, and it overflows in flavor and delicious
like a cornucopia of sheep parts.
Cornucopia of sheep parts, but it tastes delicious. You shouldn't let what's in it keep you from eating it, because I've known a lot of people that when I've been in Scotland that have visited me, I've been like, yo, let's go and have some of the haggis, and they're like, that's disgusting. That has a sheep's heart, liver, and lungs in it. I would never ever eat that. Animal.
Try it. You gotta try it. It's kind of like a blood sausage, man.
Yeah, man, delicious.
Or not mollete, but what's it called in Spanish? Blood sausage.
I don't know.
Morcilla.
Morcilla. Yes. Delicious.
Yeah, when you have the right one, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. So, haggis, really enjoyed it. So, and of course over there in Scotland you have haggis, neeps, and tatties. So you have your haggis, and you have it with turnips, and you have it, which is the nips, and then you have it with the tatties, which is the mashed potatoes. And if there's one thing I love, it is mashed potatoes. So during the pandemic last year, I was like, man, I wish I had some haggis, because haggis is delicious. But of course, it was very difficult for me to find here in Panama the sheep heart, liver, and lungs. I was just like, how am I going to get that? Like, I can't get it.
Yeah, don't let your goddaughter hear that.
Though now that I think about it, I'm sure that if I went to some carnicero or some what you call it, the monger, a
butcher or a fish monger.
Yeah, is there like a meat monger? There should be a meat monger.
Just I went to the
butcher. Man, meat monger sounds more impressive. So, anyways, butcher. I'm sure if I went to a butcher, he would be able to give me minced sheep entrails. I'm sure, without a doubt. But anyways, I didn't do it. So we were talking about veggie options earlier, 2 minutes ago, when we were talking about the garbanzo ceviche. And right now I'm going to talk to you guys about a super delicious dish that I made, which is vegetarian haggis. Get ready. So normally what I do when I start preparing my vegetarian haggis, first I prepare the mashed potatoes, because I love me some mashed potatoes, as I said, and the veggie haggis takes a bit longer than the mashed potatoes to make. So what I do for the most part is I take my potatoes, I chop them up. I don't peel the skin off, because everybody knows that the nutrients are in the skin. Yes. All the nutrients, all the nutritional stuff.
Nutrients.
You got to keep that in there. So I'll chop that up, put it in some boiling water, let it bubble until it's nice and soft. Take the water out. I'll add some milk. I'll add some cheddar cheese, because I like my mashed potatoes with some cheesiness to it.
That's when cheese is good.
Salt. I'll add some salt, fancy like HB does. I'll add some pepper as well. Smash it up. Smash it. And I'll whisk it around until it's a nice, thick, gooey substance. And I'm like, all right, mashed potatoes, you're done.
Are we still in one of your dreams, Joe?
Yeah. It's about to get good. I'll put you to the side, mashed potatoes. So I put the mashed potatoes to the side. And then I get to work on the vegetarian haggis. So I found this recipe online.
You guys, I just want to, I'm sorry to cut you out, Joe, but
yeah.
When he made this, we had a quick video call because we were planning something while he was cooking. This guy was in there like an octopus cooking all kinds of things. It looked amazing. And I can't wait to try it. Please continue, Joe. I just want to let you guys know it looked amazing.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Because normally when I'm about to cook something, I prepare myself mentally, because I know I'm going to be like, I'm going to cook. Because if there's one thing that I like to do is eat. And for the most part, I want to eat something that's not going to take me 3 to 4 hours to prepare. Right. You know? Because then I'm just like, I'm getting hungry when I'm cooking it.
Fast,
and then I'm like, why am I doing
delicious.
This? Exactly. I have a story about that. I'll tell it later. Because right now, we're talking about veggie haggis. So I found this recipe online. There was a vegetarian restaurant in Edinburgh that I used to like to go to. It was called Henderson's, right? And they had a delicious vegetarian haggis. So I found the recipe online for the veggie haggis, right? And let me tell you guys what it has. It has mushrooms. It has brown lentils. It has pinhead oatmeal. It has red kidney beans, butter, grated carrots, garlic, onions, Scottish rapeseed oil. I couldn't find that here, so I just used regular
canola
oil.
Canola oil is rapeseed oil.
Is it? I use vegetable oil. Man.
But you know that in the U.S., rapeseed is too controversial, so they had to change it to canola oil.
Canola. There you go, folks. So next time I'll use canola oil. Then you have to use some soy sauce, some garam masala, which is basically a bunch of, allspice and different things that you can put in there just to get it all tasty and stuff. And some freshly milled sea salt and black butter. So basically what you got to do with all those ingredients, very easy to find here. I think the most difficult thing I had, well, of course, the rapeseed oil, which I did not know was canola oil, but now I do, was the pinhead oatmeal. I didn't know where to find that. I ultimately ended up finding it in Reba Smith.
Is that like a young conehead oatmeal?
Yeah, it's like it looks like little balls. Yeah, exactly. No, it looks like little balls. Like these little balls, man. I don't know. I found them. There's this brand of oatmeal. I forget what it's called. I want to say George Robinson or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a guy's name, the Red Mill. Bobby Peterson's Red Mill or something.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, I found he had pinhead oats. So I was like, you know what? I'm purchasing these. So I bought them. You got to soak them. Very important that you soak them. It says for only an hour, but I soak them overnight because I want to make sure that they are nice and soft. So basically, you start sauteing
and the peas too, the lentils, right?
The lentils as well. Very true, my friend. I soaked those overnight as well because you got to make sure they're soft. Very soft. You might also potentially have to soak the kidney beans too, unless you buy them in a can, in which case they're already soft. If you buy them dry, soak them too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, man. It doesn't hurt to soak the things. So basically, you saute the garlic, the onion in some oil. Then when it's really, really soft, you add some garam masala, some soy seasoning in there. Then you add the brown lentils and the carrots. Remember the carrots, man. You got to grate them. You got to grate the carrots.
You add that great. You're making carrots great.
I'm making carrots great.
There we go. Carina Manning says Red Mills. That's the guy.
There you go. His name is Red Mills?
No, that's his brand, but it's like Orville Redenbacher's Red Mills.
Got it. Yeah. Well, he makes some excellent pinhead oats for your
Haggis.
So you got to make sure, you start. So I'm at the lentils, right? The lentils, the grated carrots, you put them in. So the sauteed garlic, the onions, and the oil starts to smell really good. Make sure it doesn't dry out too much. If it does dry out, you got to add some water. You got to keep it moving, right? Keep it moving. Then you add the mushrooms. Keep stirring that. You allow it to soften. Then you add the kidney beans. And you add some of your butter in there. You just keep it heated. Don't boil it. Keep it hot. Just like there. A nice, even heat. Then you add
Bob's Red Mills.
Oatmeal.
Bob's Red. Oh, sorry.
Bob?
Michelle Cole says Bob's Red Mill. Continue, sir.
I'm sure it's right. Okay. Anyways, so now I'm so confused. Anyways, then you add the oatmeal. The oatmeal is very important because it's what's going to give the haggis. I wish I had like some stuff here so that I could show you as I'm mixing
texture,
it.
Right?
Yes, it gives the haggis the texture because the haggis has to have it has to be like a pudding almost. It has to be like a thick sort of pudding type thing, but not like pudding like vanilla pudding or chocolate pudding. It has to be sort of like a
pudding.
Yeah, it has to be like the blood pudding, right? So it has to be firm but soft.
Yeah.
Firm but soft. Like HB's, like the way HB gives instructions to people. It's firm but soft. Firm but soft. So keep it firm but soft.
Don't go there, internet. Don't go there, internet.
Did it go?
Oh, firm but soft. We don't want Tigo to give us firm but soft internet connections.
So then we have this in our pot, right? And we're stirring it. Once we have the mixture in there, you let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes on low heat. Low heat, and you keep checking on it. You smell it. As HB said earlier, the nose knows. If it doesn't have an aroma that you find to your liking, you keep on adding some more spices, some salt, just like making sure it gets to a level of taste that you enjoy. If you've never had haggis before, basically this is up to you now to decide the taste that you like to the concoction that you are preparing. So then once you're satisfied,
whoever wants to know, why is it called haggis?
Why is it called haggis? Man, that's a really great question.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that to the research department.
So check it out. So this is some of the information I have.
Okay.
So the name haggis, and it was originally spelled Hagws or Haggis, Haggese.
Can you do it with your best Scottish impression?
Man, I'm gonna have to like
do it. All right.
Prepare.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, Joe. You're in Scotland. You have a kilt on. Do it. Do it.
Hog. No, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna say Haggis. Haggis. So, and it was first recorded, according to Wikipedia, in England in about 1430, which is really, really weird. Because it's a Scottish origin traditionally, and it's a national dish of Scotland. And it became so because of Robbie Burns' famous poem. And we talked about Robbie Burns a while back in another one of our episodes from the past. Scroll down, you'll find it. Our whiskey episode.
For Scotland whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Haggis.
He wrote a poem called "Address to a Haggis" in 1786. So that's how important it is. The haggis. Now let's talk about the etymology of the haggis. Please. Man, that's a lot of stuff to read.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we'll get back to it later.
If you're making veggie haggis, tell us, was it easy? Did it live up to your expectations?
I think, well, I know what haggis tastes like, so I tried to make it taste as much, or what haggis should taste like at a restaurant for the most part. It always has the sort of same sort of like meaty type of taste to it, you know? So I think it at first, the first time I tried making it, I was a bit disappointed because the lentils were too hard. I didn't soak them for long enough. So they were a bit hard. So it bothered me. But then I realized that when I reheated it and had it again, they were softer. So that just means that you kind of gotta let them cook for a bit longer.
That's true. Soak them longer. Also, there's a few things when you're doing beans. One is you want to soak them long enough. Two is you want to put a pinch of baking soda in there that helps soften them up. And if the beans are old, like I'm guilty of this, I leave beans in the cupboard forever and then I pull them out. If they get old, they won't cook. So
all right,
keep those things. And final tip is I like to cook beans in glass and not in metal. For some reason, to me, they seem to get softer. Continue, sir.
Okay.
Continue with your haggis.
Well, now you know about the haggis. So what you got to make sure you do is when you have it ready, you scoop it out and you arrange it on your plate, and then you arrange it with some of the mashed potatoes that you made. I couldn't find turnips. Do we have turnips in Panama?
I haven't found
them. No. Okay, so I couldn't make the neeps. And then you can also make an excellent whiskey sauce to go along with it. I haven't made the whiskey sauce yet. I haven't made it yet. But what you do is you pour it over the mashed potatoes and the haggis, and then it tastes. Overall, it took me about the entire thing 45 minutes, which was a decent amount of time, I think. And
then you said that when you reheat it, it tastes better. Does it?
When I reheat
it, the spices mingle or what?
I think it is because the spices have more time to spend with each other, right? And mix it up in there.
Sometimes spices are shy, Joe. Sometimes they need to be like, hey.
Yeah, they need to get to know each other.
Yeah.
They need to get to know each other. So it was an interesting thing to make for sure. It definitely it was a challenge, I think, the first time I made it because I really wasn't very sure whether or not I was doing it right. But yeah, man, it's good. I'm still trying to find here why it's called haggis, but I just think that's the name that it was given for some reason.
Carina Weber says, yes, turnips do grow in Boquete. I've never had them. Lived here my whole life. I don't know.
Wow, we're going to have to go to Boquete and find some turnips. We got
a backlog of questions, Joe. Carina Manning says, how about escabeche de guandú? I think it's worth a try, man, because guandú tastes good. And one thing I did do, Joe, is I made a hummus of guandú. Unfortunately, Joe and RapScallions, is the color is not very appetizing. So when you
I've seen it, man. Yeah. That's kind of like with the veggie haggis. It's not an appetizing color.
Yeah, I call it pumice.
Pumice,
but it's very tasty. So if you have some hummus, if you have some guandú, you boil it, mash it up. You put a bunch of culantro and garlic and salt and pepper. So good with like plátano chips. The only thing is that the color looks not so appealing.
It looks like the poop emoji.
Yeah, poop emoji. So yeah, so just if you can get over that, worth it. Delicious.
I've
Michelle
heard that
Kuo says, go ahead.
yeah, no, the Ceviche of Guandu, they've sold it here in Panama on like
I've never had that.
barquillos, like you can have them like you're eating an ice cream cone.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, man, that's very
I've never
interesting.
had it.
Me neither, man.
Let's see. Michelle Kuo says, well, how about jackfruit ceviche? I've never had it, but we've got a breadfruit tree growing, so we're definitely going to try that in the future. You probably jackfruit's starchy, so I imagine you boil it and then cube it up because they do use jackfruit as a pork substitute. So I imagine it's pretty good. Carina Weber says best way to sharpen knives. Look, I showed my knives earlier, Joe, and if you're willing to upgrade your kitchen, these are the two that I recommend. You want a chef's knife and a paring knife. I've had this knife for 20 years, I think.
Wow.
So you can go to PriceSmart. You don't have to spend. This is a Henkel. You don't have to spend a bunch of money like I did. You can go to PriceSmart and get a paring knife. It comes in a kit. A paring knife and a chef's knife, and it's called Tramontina. It's from Brazil, and the one that you want is German steel. And the reason why is some knives that you buy are so difficult to sharpen. You sharpen them forever. It's because they're stainless steel, and it's super hard. Now, if you get carbon steel, like this professional chef knife, the blade it'll dull faster, but they're easier to sharpen. And be like, oh my God, sharpening. I'm stressed out about that. No need to stress out.
Don't stress.
Check it out, Joe. Everyone's got one of these in their kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You flip it over, and on the bottom, there's a little ring there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put your hand there, and then you just put a 30-degree angle on your chef's knife or any knife that you want to sharpen, and you run it along that ceramic on the bottom, and that'll do an incredible job of sharpening your knives. And then once you get that down, then you can worry about going out and buying a professional sharpening kit, which aren't that expensive, but requires a delicate hand to do right.
No doubt.
What else? What are the
HB, we got a shout out over here from our friend Silent Hunter Mike Bolton. Tuned in. He said, I missed his initial comments when they came in on the gram. He said, "Así es, Joe." And then he said, "Oh no." So I'm guessing something bad happened when he said, "Oh no," but I don't remember what that was.
It's probably when we got cut off or something.
It's possible.
Carina Manning says, I have a recipe for escabeche de Wandu. If you feel cool with it, share it here so the rest of the famscallions can try it out. And you know what? I'll make it, and we'll talk about it in the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Love cooking.
It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that.
All right, Joe,
but yeah, by the way, Tramontina, man, that's a very good brand. My frying pans are Tramontina, and my pots, I got them at PriceSmart. But yeah, you don't have to. I saw that one of the premier restaurants that I like going to here in Panama, Intimo Restaurant, we had Robert Martin on the show with us last year to make some drinks because he's a mixologist.
Scroll down for that show. That changed our drinking habits. After that show, man, I started making all kinds of stuff.
Fancy drinks, man.
Easy
they use
too.
Tramontina frying pans over there. So I was like, hey, if they can use these frying pans here, that means it's pretty good. So yeah, man,
So
Tramontina.
If you go to PriceSmart or even Amazon, we'll put a link in there. We'll make it like an affiliate link. Apparently, that's what you do. We'll get like 5 cents off of every knife.
All right.
You want the ones that say stain-free, high-carbon German steel because that makes them easier to sharpen. They'll get dull more quickly, but then they're easier to sharpen. That's the trick.
And HP just showed you guys how to sharpen knives, lickety split.
And this? What about this, Joe? These look like regular scissors, right?
Yeah.
Wow. These are kitchen shears.
Oh, snap.
Like if you need to cut a chicken open, you go clack, 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 clack. It cuts right through it.
Wow. Important instruments to have in one's kitchen, for sure.
Carina Manning shared escabeche de gandules recipe. Everyone, you guys try it out. We'll try it out. Report back next weekend, next Sunday, and we'll talk about it, right?
Yeah, let us know how it goes, man. It's all about sharing and trying new things, making sure that you do it the way you know how to do it, without a doubt.
All right, so now we have a ceviche recipe. We have a both apparently, it's a pretty cool that both of them were vegetarian, because sometimes getting a hold of the meats in the recipe can be a little hard, a little intimidating. So go ahead and try that vegetarian option.
Yeah, I'll post that as well in the links later on in case anybody wants to try making some veggie haggis. Let us know how it turns out, man. And if you can get turnips, definitely go make the nips so you can have the entire haggis, neeps, and tatties experience.
Yeah, if you know where to get those in Panama, please let us know. We need the nips, man.
Faux show.
So the next thing I wanted to mention is just an easy way, because sometimes some of the things that we crave are a little difficult to make. So I want to share with you guys an easy way to make patacones or carimañolas.
Ooh, tasty.
Yeah. So my big gripe with making these is there's a lot of boiling, there's a lot of frying, very labor intensive. So as my calculus teacher told me, the best mathematicians are very lazy.
Oh, word?
I don't know if she meant that as an insult or what. However, I have gone through the trouble for all of you FamScallions, how to make these processes a little easier, because during the pandemic, a lot of people were giving us plátano. And anyone who's peeled a plátano knows it's a pain in the butt. It's very starchy. Your fingers get all gooey. It's a pain in the butt. Then you got to fry it. Your whole kitchen stinks. Then you got to take it out. Then you fry it again. Then you mash it. And the whole experience has driven me away from making patacones at home. But fortunately for y'all, I have developed an easier way. One where you can sit on your butt, watch the RapScallions while this is happening in the background.
Man, do tell.
So it depends on what flavor you want from your patacones. Some people like them very starchy, like me. And some people like them a little sweet, where you use a later plátano, so it has a little touch of sweetness to it. Also, I like that, but I'd rather have it on. I like my stuff polarized. I want my patacones starchy, but I want my plátanos sin tentación like it's almost liquid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dead. It's dead, Joe. I want my plátano dead.
Yeah.
So,
dead.
Yeah, it brings out that natural sweetness. So what I do to make patacones, and this is the easiest way that I figured out how to do it, and nowadays everyone has air fryers, so this is going to work perfectly for you guys. You take a nice super green plátano and you cut the ends off. And you put them in a you just want to steam them, so you can put them in a paila, one or two. I don't know, if you have a restaurant, then you probably have someone to do it for you, but you have a paila, and you just want a little bit of water in there so that it cooks really quickly. It creates lots of steam. You put those two plátanos with the ends cut off. You can cut them in 4 if you need to make space. And that water will boil real quickly. And you cover it. You go do whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you come back before the water boils off. And by the time you get back, the peel will just fall off. The plátano will be cooked. And so you take that peel off. You smash your plátano.
How much time should it take? Does it normally take for the peel to fall off?
That's the thing, is usually I go and I lay in a hammock, So I would say maybe about 30 minutes or so.
All right. Just so people know when they set their timers.
Yeah.
Be like 30 minutes.
I'm bad at giving instructions because I cook with my nose. Like if I smell something, I'm like, I better check on that.
No doubt.
So you want to steam them or boil them, because like if you think of boiling, you're filling up a bunch of water and it takes a long time for that water to boil. No, you just want to go like halfway above the plátanos so it starts boiling and steaming very quickly. And then maybe it's, let's say 30 minutes or so. You got to let them cool a little bit unless you have Vulcan fingers like I do. You just go in there and you kind of take care of business. That stuff will fall off. And then you cut your regular trozos of plátano. What I do is I take parchment paper, which in addition to knives and a cutting board should be a staple of your kitchen.
Truth.
And then I smash them in the parchment paper, brush them with some oil, and then I bake them or air fry them. And I tell you what, nothing as good as frying is the best way to do everything, but we got to take care of our health, right?
Yeah.
So the second best way, which is probably about 90 92% of the way there, is to brush them with oil and to bake them or to air fry them. And this is the easy way to make patacones. You're not going to come out like a pimply-faced McDonald's employee cooking French fries all day. You're going to be in a hammock while that stuff boils. You smash them, bake them, and you're having fun after that. That's my trick number 2.
No doubt, man. You know, air fryers, man, they are amazing because you can cook a whole variety of things in there. And, you know, they're supposedly healthier for you, right?
Supuestamente. But,
yeah, that's what they say.
That's my trick for making easy patacones. You're a little pixelated. Let me press that button. Joe, do you have a second recipe that you want to share with us today?
I do have a second recipe I would like to share with you today. But first and foremost, I would like to tell you my story about why I enjoy my fast cooking. Not to say I enjoy fast food, but I enjoy my meals prepared quickly. When I was studying for my master's, I shared an apartment with several individuals, right? And one of them, this Japanese guy that was super cool, Ryusuke was his name. When we started living together in this flat, he didn't know how to cook at all. Like zero cooking. He would try and cook, you know, he was hungry. He would put like a hamburger patty in the microwave and cook it like that. And I'd be like, I'm pretty sure that's not how you cook a hamburger patty, man. That's not good. That's not good. But this guy, throughout the year that I knew him, he became the most amazing master chef I ever knew, apart from HP, obviously.
In 1 year?
That year. In 1 year. In 1 year. And I would see him in the kitchen toiling away from making sushi to making homemade pizza to making all sorts of delicious things. And he would go and to buy the different apparatuses he needed to like make his own bread and make all this crap. And then I remember I'd be in the kitchen. I'd be like, man, like 11:30, man, I'm hungry. I want to eat by noon. So I would go at 11:30 and I would start prepping stuff so that I could eat at noon. He would be like, man, for lunch, I want to have this. So he would rock up into the kitchen at like 8 a.m. and start the process.
Wow.
And he'd
dedication.
start thinking. And I was like, Ryusuke, man, I don't want what I'm going to eat to take me longer to prepare it than what it takes for me to eat it. That was my mentality. So I was like, sorry, man. I can appreciate what you're doing. But when I get hungry and I eat now. I don't want to eat 4 hours from now. I want to eat now. But I was like, man, I hope one day I have that dedication. Like, I hope that maybe one day I'm like, man, you know what? For dinner, I'm going to have something amazing. And then I'll start cooking at 9 a.m. And I'll be like, you'll be like, Joe, what are you doing? Sorry, man. I'm making my dinner. You'd be like, but it's 9 a.m. And I'm like, yo.
Dedication.
Dedication, man. So I thought that was really cool. So, hey, you got to do your thing, man. You got to cook. But anyways.
Well, that type of inspiration is pretty cool.
Huh?
That type of inspiration.
It is. I was really amazed because, like I said, when I met him, he could not cook to save his life. You know, he would go to into the supermarket and you can buy already made Scotch eggs, right? They'll sell them to you at the supermarket, you know, wrapped in their plastic or what, in their plastic container, super like cool. And he'll be like, oh, this is going to be my dinner. And he would just buy a Scotch egg and then he just like chop it in half, put it in the microwave and then dinner. He went from doing that to being able to make his own Scotch eggs. He was like, wow. Yeah, man. Amazing. Cool. Hours and hours.
So hit us, Joe. Hit us with your second family recipe that you want to share with RapScallions.
My second family recipe isn't so much a family recipe, but a recipe that I really liked from a place that I really like to go to. And then I modified it to fit the parameters of what was available to me in order to make it. So, HB, you know the Publix restaurant, right? Do you know it? You know Publix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people.
I got stories about Publix.
Man. I'm sure a lot of people know Publix. I want to hear those stories. But once I tell you, are they legal stories or illegal stories?
Well, my college roommate, and we all cooked. Me and my two roommates. One was one semester away from being a chef. And the other one was an aspiring cook, very good cook. And the three of us, we'd have friends come over every Sunday and we'd throw in like $1.50. And between all of us, we'd have enough money to cook a feast, like a real feast. But as far as Publix, he worked at Publix in the deli. Right. So I would go and be like, "Excuse me, sir, could I have a vegetarian sub?" Meanwhile, we're getting like boar's head finest cuts in there, but only being charged for a veggie sub.
Oh wow, sneaky,
Not
sneaky,
proud of
man.
it, but college
Hey, you gotta do
budget.
what you gotta do to survive, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nobody's rich in
We
college.
should do a show on college budget food recipes.
Man, let me tell you something. I could have used that back in the day.
Yeah.
But man, check it out. I'm glad that you said Publix Deli because my next recipe draws inspiration from the Publix Deli. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in the US, obvs, and I would go to Publix. We would go sometimes, and then my mom would be like, "Oh man, I don't want to cook today," and we get something from there, like whatever. So when I started working again, I had to go to Miami. When I started working where I am now, I had to go to Miami every so often for meetings and stuff. And sometimes I was just like, man, I'd be walking through the supermarket getting snacks, and I'd be like, I don't really feel like going out to eat or whatever, stay in a hotel. I'll just grab something from the deli. And I went one evening, and I saw these college kids were in line ahead of me, and this kid was getting a sub. The lady at the deli was making a sub for this kid that had macaroni and cheese and chicken fingers. That was the sub.
Yes.
And I was like,
we never put in this, sub. That's pretty ingenious.
Yeah. And I was like, man, that's crazy. But I didn't want that type of sub. I just wanted some chicken fingers and I wanted some mac and cheese. Because I remembered from my youth that the mac and cheese from the deli at Publix was pretty epic. Yeah, pretty epic mac and cheese. So I was like, man, it's delicious. I love it so much. I came back to Panama and I was always like, I'd make the mac and cheese, but then it never really tasted like the mac and cheese from the Publix deli, man, which was epic. So I was searching for it everywhere. And then I saw that Publix had the recipe on their website, but I couldn't enter the Publix website because of geolocation. This is how difficult they were making it for me. So I was like, man, and I didn't have a VPN at the time. So I was like, oh, I need to make this.
What is Joe gonna do?
Jeez, man. So I wrote to a colleague of mine in Miami. I was like, yo, I need to ask you a favor. She was like, what's up? And I was like, go to the Publix website, get the recipe for mac and cheese for me. And send it back. She was like, what? I was like, please just do this favor. I need this. I need this to survive the pandemic. Amazing thing to survive the pandemic.
Hey,
so it's hard. So she sent me the recipe for the mac and cheese, and I was like, busted. I'm gonna get on this. But I made some modifications to it because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna switch some things around to make it like a Panamanian version of this most epic mac and cheese.
I saw that because as the RapScallions know, we have a rundown. Joe meticulously prepares and researches, and when he said a Panamanian version, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So it's very slight changes. It's nothing like, it doesn't have guandu or pilar or anything like that, but just different things to give it like a Panamanian sort of flavor, right? So, you got your mac and cheese, of course, and everybody knows with the mac and cheese, you need your elbow macaroni, you need your butter, you need some flour, which I'd never used to make mac and cheese before in the past, but this one said you needed flour. So I was like, all right,
it's a thickener.
Let's flour it up. No doubt.
There's flour and everything. Milk. I don't like that. But anyway, sorry.
You need sorry. It's okay, man. It's okay. You need some salt. You need some smoked paprika. Ooh. You needed some cheddar cheese, some Swiss cheese, some Parmesan cheese, and some breadcrumbs. Right? Some breadcrumbs. So I didn't have the breadcrumbs, and I didn't have the Swiss cheese or the Parmesan cheese. So what I did was the following. Check this out. Basic, but not basic, like basic, but basic as in something
essential.
You need to know. That's right. So I took the boxes of the Kraft's mac and cheese that you get at the supermarket, took 2 of those, boil the water, boom, perfect, soft. Then what I did is, in a separate bowl, I mixed some of the flour with some milk, with the cheese powder that they give you, right? Mix that up, right? To that, I add some ají chombo, just to give it a little bit of kick, just to give it some kick.
Shazam.
Put that in there, prep it up. I pour that into the macaroni that's already there. You stir that up, right? You stir it up, and then you put that. All this time, you're preheating the oven to 350 degrees. By the way, I forgot to tell you because this is key. So you pour that mixture that you make with the ají chombo, with the cheese powder, with the milk, with the flour, with the paprika. And if you also have some of the little grated ají chombos that you can get from La Doña or something, sprinkle some of those in there too. Stir that up.
What is that? From the Doña what?
La Doña. They sell like ají chombo, like little,
like
like
flakes.
dried ají chombo. The flakes. Put that in there. It gives it some kick. It also gives it that nice ají chombo flavor that we like to enjoy. So, as I said, I had some cheddar cheese. So then once I put it on there, I add some cheddar cheese in there as well, mix it up. Then I get some queso del país, right? Some queso del país. Panamanian flavor. I'll slice it up. And I will put it on the top of it, right? I'll put it on the top of it like that. Mix it up with some cheddar cheese. Then instead of using the breadcrumbs, I will use some platanitos, the salty ones. I smash them up. Crunchy, 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 crunchy. And I sprinkle them on the top to create like a cover on top of the macaroni and cheese, right?
You're a goddamn genius, Joe.
Hey, man. Hey. And you put that into the oven.
I'm feeling it.
And you let it sit there, man. You let it sit there for about 25 to 30 minutes, man. When you see it starts to bubble and it starts to get like a bit brown, you pull that out, man. It's heaven.
Beautiful.
And the ají chombo, the hot sauce, gives it a little bit of kick. And then the mix of the cheeses, amazing. And then you have the saltiness of the platanitos. Amazing. That's a feel-good dish right there, my friend.
That sounds delicious. I'm going to have to make that with the Panama touches on it.
With the Panama touches. I'm sure there's more Panamanian things I can add to it, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, electricity just went out, so I'll probably lose you guys here in about 2 seconds. If we do, man, it was great having you guys here. But Joe, that recipe sounds amazing.
Hey man, everyone should try it. Everyone should try it.
What you said about browning on the top, that's something you guys need to look into. It's called the I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the browning. You'll get more flavor out of properly browning your food than you will from adding spices and condiments. If as long electricity's out, so we're bound to lose. But upcoming, if we lose internet, upcoming, we have so many interesting things coming up. We're still working on the episode for the history of the Canal Zone Police. That's coming up. This episode is a prelude to our Johnny Mazzetti episode with Captain Andy. We're going to cook a regular Zonian Johnny Mazzetti casserole and also a gluten-free version using squash, or what do you call it, like spaghetti squash. Was it
spaghetti squash, man? That's the bomb. Oh
yeah. So
man, RapScallions, man, for all types of people.
It's for everyone, man. And you know what? You find something new. Every time you try something new, you find something new, and then you think about it and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna add that. Just the way Joe added platanitos on top of the mac and cheese. Genius. I love that.
Man, if you're having a bad day, man, if you're feeling down and you need some comfort food, that'll cheer you right up, man.
It will.
That'll cheer you right up.
Well,
I think we're still
live. Fortunately, the electricity here is still out, so we have internet as long as the backup battery holds out. And it's back. Let's hope we don't lose our connection.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. The electricity is
the roller coaster of the RapScallions. Man, you get good tips, you have good times, and it's like a soap opera, man, with the internet. It's amazing.
Man, never a boring moment with us, man.
As a treat, I'm going to show you something delicious. How about these? Aguacate.
Man, I love me some aguacate, dude.
So why don't you guys in the comments tell us how you guys enjoy your aguacates? Because everyone likes it a little different. It's true.
Hey, the weirdest way I've heard that aguacates have been prepared, some of my colleagues in Brazil, they tell me that they would blend them with sugar and eat them like a milkshake of sorts.
I've had my neighbor eats them with sugar. Like he cuts them in half and sprinkles sugar on them. And then I've had the Vietnamese avocado milkshakes, which are really good. Carina Manning says, add platanitos crushed up on Johnny Mazzetti. Boom.
Oh,
we're going to make a
snap.
We're going to put one corner of each casserole with platanitos. It's going to be called the Carina corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I like that. Look at that. We're already coming up with amazing recipes. We're going to open up a Johnny Mazzetti restaurant, which serves
Right.
Johnny Mazzetti with different toppings.
We're going to call it Joey Mesquites.
Exactly.
Well, it looks like we have some pretty decent internet. So I'm going to give this one kind of ties in to the last one of my quick down home family recipes. This is a quick way to make carimañolas because making carimañolas is tough work, man. That's one of those things where you invite all your family over, all your brothers, sisters, and aunties, and like making tamales. That takes forever, man. But I'm going to give you some tips and tricks so you can make carimañolas quickly. Wait, hold on. We got some comments here. Carina Manning says, my great-grandma used to eat aguacate with azúcar de caña. That's my neighbor here in Santa Clara.
Man, I'm going to have to try this now, man. I've never had aguacate with sugar. I've just heard about it.
I tried it with unrefined sugar, the azúcar, and the unrefined sugar. Like brown. The electricity just went out again. We're on the clock, people. This is a speed round telling you guys the tips. Always high energy here on RapScallions. So the same thing I told you about boiling those plátanos, you can do that with yuca. But here's the thing. Yuca has alkaloids in it, so you should technically, your first boil, you should pour that water out and do a second boil to ablandar. And also, you can make carimañolas out of plátano, but you can't freeze them. Once you freeze a banana or a plátano, and then you take it out of the freezer, it'll fall apart, so you can't fry them. But anyway.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. Like if you want to make ice cream, if you have some old bananas and you want to make some ice cream, you can freeze a banana. And once it's frozen, you put it in the blender, it comes out super creamy because it super falls apart. You can throw some aguacate in there. Best ice cream you ever had. Anyway. Back to the carimañolas. We're on the clock, Joe. So this is a speed round tips and trick. We still have internet while the battery lasts.
TNT with RapScallions, yo. Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. You boil your yuca, and once it's boiled, if you have a food processor, what you do is you drop that yuca into the food processor. You put some oil, and you zip it, zip, and there you have your masa. And then from there, it's very easy to fill it with the meat. Now, the normal way of making yuca and carimañolas is you have to knead it and mash it, this and that. But with a food processor, it takes care of that in like 5 minutes.
Word.
Once it's cooled down, making your filling is a personal choice. So the simplest thing to do is ground beef, maybe a mixture of ground beef and ground pork. You got to have your ahichombo. You got to have your culantro. And I like to put a little bit of tomato paste in there and garlic. Keep it simple, salt and pepper. Fry that up. Make a ball, and then you roll in your hands to make like a cone shape. Once you have that, you start filling it. You just pinch it over, and then you fry them up. Now, if you make them out of yuca, you can freeze them. And when you defrost them, the yuca ones hold up great. You can even buy the ones from Reba Smith frozen. Delicious. Fry them up. Tastes great. But I've made them out of plátano, and they're just as delicious. Your carimañolas of plátano are just as delicious. However, you cannot freeze them.
Why?
All right, Joe.
Because they fall apart. They
fall apart super quick. Joe, what's your third TNT tips and trick?
My third meal. We talked a lot about savory things, so I wanted to introduce some sweetness. Well, no, because we talked about plátanos. They're pretty sweet too sometimes.
Yeah, and rats.
But I want to talk about too. Yeah, no, that was super sweet. Some sweetness in my life that I started making a couple of years ago were scones. I love scones. I think scones are amazingly delicious, and I am a big fan of cranberry. I've made cranberry scones. I got this book a while back, Thug Kitchen, and it has different recipes for different things that you can make. And one of the things that I love to make, I found this recipe for blueberry, walnut, lavender scones, but I couldn't find lavender.
So fancy.
I couldn't find lavender in Panama. So I said, you know what? I do have cranberries. So, and the blueberries I got, they were frozen, right? So when I put them in the thing, when I made it initially, it ruined everything because, of course, they melted into the scones when it was in the oven. And I didn't think to buy not frozen blueberries. So you live, you learn, hey. So anyways, I got some cranberries, right? And I said I was going to make some scones. So basically, just to tell you what these fine folks over here at The Kitchen, they changed their name, by the way. Now they're called Bad Manners because of everything that happened in 2020. They said with a name like The Kitchen, it wasn't cool anymore. So now they're called Bad Manners. So basically, you crank up your oven, guys, to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, lining a baking sheet with parchment paper in your large bowl. This is what you're going to mix in your bowl. You're going to flour again, HB. You got to use flour. You got baking powder. You got white sugar. Plus, you need more white sugar for sprinkling. 2 tablespoons brown sugar. 1/4 teaspoon salt. Refined coconut oil. Man, everybody loves the coconut oil. I myself am a fan of the taste that coconut oil gives to things. So I'm just going to read the recipe straight up because I know we're going super fast before we die out from the lack of electricity. So check this out. Super entertaining. In a large bowl, mix together the flour, baking powder, sugars, and salt. Cut the oil into the flour using your hands until it all kind of looks grainy and there are no large chunks left. And then stir in the cranberries because we don't have lavender. We don't have lavender. Make a well in the center of the flour mixture and pour in the almond milk and vanilla. If you don't have almond milk, just use regular milk. Or if you do have almond milk, use the almond milk. Or if you have coconut milk, use coconut milk. Use whatever milk you have.
Hey, Joe, the best place to get vanilla is at Arrocha Pharmacy.
Arrocha has a... Oh, Arrocha Pharmacy. I was like, Arrocha has a pharmacy?
Yeah, you go to the back and you say, I want vainilla, and they'll give you a tincture of real vanilla. Like legit vanilla grown in Panama. Continue, sir.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. So you pour everything into you put the milk and the vanilla into the mixture and you mix it until it is all combined. And then if you haven't put the cranberries in, you put the cranberries in now with the walnuts as well. You mix that in there. You scoop some dough into the baking sheet. I made a mistake last time, HB. I had my glass baking thing. And you know what I did? I lined it with some coconut oil because I was like, hey, man, coconut oil makes everything delicious. But you know what that did? When I put the clumps on there, because you know scones are supposed to look like you didn't try it. Scones are supposed to just be like, oh, I threw some mixture on there and that's how it landed. So it was there, but then because of the oil, it started to spread out and then it looked more like a cookie. I didn't want it to look like a cookie. I wanted it to just kind of
But did it taste better as a cookie or as a scone?
It was good. It was good. It wasn't a failure. It wasn't a failure. But it wasn't a complete cookie, though. It wasn't a complete cookie. It wasn't a complete cookie.
I recommend for something like that, parchment paper. Like
yes, I didn't have parchment paper at the time.
Is it's a savior in the kitchen when you're baking. It'll make your chicken come out crispier. Hey, check it out. We've got a friend behind us.
A friend. Hello, friend.
That's right. That is Carina Weber. Carina Weber, the famous artist on the RapScallions. She's on retainer for $1 million a day.
Mm-hmm. She's the only one that makes money off RapScallions, y'all.
That's right. All our money goes to retaining her wonderful art service. She's the one that came up with the art down here, our little chef's hats and everything.
That's all Carina Weber. So yeah, once you got these scones in the oven, man, you bake them until they're like golden brown on the top and on the bottom. That's about 12 to 15 minutes. And then once you take them out, man, you enjoy that with some coffee. Delicious. Scones, man.
Maybe
scones.
I haven't had the right scones because I've never been to jolly old Scotland.
Man, back before
I always
red
found
listed,
that they're like super dry. Are they supposed to be dry? Or they're not supposed to be dry? What's going on there?
it depends on who makes them. I think
Like the ones you make are like
the ones I make are moist. I like them moist. No, they're moist, man. Well, they're not moist like a fudge brownie, but they're not dry. Oh yeah, jerk chicken.
What do I have to? What's the sounds I have to make?
It's time for the mukbang. Mukbang. What
is mukbang? Tell us, RapScallions, what's mukbang?
Mukbang. So what I understand now is mukbang is when people eat the food and other people watch them eat it, and you just basically have to like enjoy it and be like, this is so tasty. This mukbang. And you have to say mukbang every 5 minutes, every 2 bites. So you go, So delicious.
Okay. Okay, so this
Mukbang.
is Jamaican jerk chicken smoked over, blackened Jamaican jerk chicken smoked over leña de Nance. This is a piece off the same tree. Look at that. Look at the beautiful aromas. You can probably smell that through the internet.
I can smell it. It's like
All right,
smell-o-vision.
Mukbang.
Mukbang. Mukbang. Man, I feel like I'm in Asia or something. Mukbang. Oh, man. So mukbangish. Oh, man.
Joe, we're definitely cooking this at the next shrimp off.
Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. Man, that's amazing mukbang. Tastes so jerkified.
That's really good.
Wow. You're making me hungry, man.
I'm surprised the internet hasn't gone out, but as soon as it does, I'm eating more chicken. I'll tell you that.
Man, Carina Weber is the best. She even gave you an umbrella so you don't get wet.
She is the best.
Totally worth the $1 million that we pay her a day.
$1 million a day in retainers, just so that none of the rest of the fam scallions try to draw her away for amazing art skills.
That's right.
Man, that's really good.
Hey, basically, check it out. So, I just some information on mukbang. So, mukbang, pronounced mukbang, sorry. It translates to eating broadcast in South Korea. And professional mukbangers can make up to $10,000 a month, including sponsorship from food and drink brands. So we could turn this into a
Joe,
$10,000.
Joe, where do the fam scallions go to donate their tens of thousands of dollars to this mukbang episode?
Guys, if you want to see more mukbang or anything else, you guys got to go to www.panamarp.com. PanamaRP.com. That is our base of operations. You can find everything RapScallions on there. You can find some nice little links where you can go and offer to give us a coffee, Kofi, or buy us a drink. There's buttons where you push, and it allows you the capacity to support us. You can also get some sweet merch, like these shirts that HB and I are wearing. Amazing t-shirts. You can also see all of our past episodes. They are on PanamaRP.com. You can also see the links to our Spotify because HB has defied the odds and uploaded all of our shows to Spotify. So now we're global, international, man. HB was there like Rocky training in the Arctic when he was going to fight that Russian, and he was all like, I'm going to beat you, Russian. The internet was a Russian, by the way.
And the internet was like, I will break you. And I was like, no.
No, he was doing CrossFit in Siberia. This is what HB was doing. So go to PanamaRP.com, check it out, visit us, leave us a comment, let us know what you think about the website. Massive things are coming. We're making a lot of changes to the website. We're updating the website, making sure it is fit for all of our fam scallions to go there. Check it out. Read the information. We're also doing improv, man. So if you guys want to have some improv, be it classes or shows, let us know because we can do all that.
All right, so it's raining. It looks like the internet is not coming back because of electricity. So remember, every Sunday 3 p.m. we've got a couple big shows coming up. One of them is the Cooking Johnny Mazzetti Live with Captain Andy. The other one is the History of the Canal Zone Police. We're a little bit late on that. We've scanned all the stuff. I need to put it into a book, and then we need to study it. That's coming in the future. Joe, give us the words of wisdom regarding cooking.
Words of wisdom, man. Hey, listen, cooking is just like anything in life, man. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to try it. So next time you're in the kitchen and you open your refrigerator, you open your cupboards, and you're like, man, I can't find anything to eat. Wrong. There's always things to eat in your kitchen. So just, take out that can of garbanzo beans. Take out that lemon juice. Be like, how can I put these two things together? Take out those lentils, man. Be like, what can I do with these lentils? And just use your imagination. Making a delicious meal is like making a piece of art. So be your most creative self and get to work. HB, you're on mute.
Thank you guys. It's raining, so I muted my microphone. I thought there's so much thunder here. I was like, oh my goodness. It's raining. It's a nice bajarreque. As you guys see, it's sunny, but raining at the same time. Joel, your words were beautiful. I like that. What I always say is cooking is for everyone. It's a way to bring people together. It's a bringing together of flavors. It's fun. It's science, and it's art at the same time. And my last minute cooking tips is keep it simple, man. A lot of times we're buying pre-mixed spices. We're buying salad dressings that are full of calories, but not really full of nutrients. You know what? If you buy really fresh ingredients and you just put a nice olive oil with some salt on it, you're really going to taste the quality of those vegetables. So keep it simple. One acid, either vinegar, lemons, tomato sauce, whatever. One base, that's your oil. You can use olive oil, any type of vegetable oil. You know what I've been doing is I've been keeping the chicken fat and rendering it. It's made things so much more delicious when I fry it in that. It's amazing. And I'm not throwing something away. And then keep it to one spice, which is usually a seed that's roasted and ground up, and 1 or 2 herbs, maybe 3 herbs. The more simple you keep it, the more clear the flavors are going to be. And we were talking earlier about browning, Joe. The browning technique, next time just buy a piece of chicken. You don't have to put salt on it. You don't have to put pepper on it. You put it in a cold pan, and then you turn the pan on, and as that comes up to heat, the bottom will brown, and it'll create a browning effect that will create more flavors than any spices that you can ever think of. And then once you take it out, once it's cooked, salt and pepper on there.
Sure enough.
It's science, baby.
Science.
All right. We're going to get cut off here soon. So, Joe, brother, always a pleasure. RapScallions. Sending big hugs out to the fam scallions. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for bearing with us on this day of internet problems. Tune in next Sunday. If you have things that you want us to cook, let us know. If you have ideas for shows, let us know. We love your commentary. Thank you very much. See y'all next week.
Bye.
J-O-E in the place to be. HB on the track, it's like ecstasy. Run a well of 7 years, what we drink and be. Trying to sling the dopest rhymes in the galaxy. Let me take a minute though and relax your mind. Sometimes these words can be hard to find. 24/7 on that daily grind. Hearing voices in my head, man, they not that kind. Cause bitches be bitches, snitches keep snitching. The world keeps turning, and I keep hitching a ride instead of living my life. Yo, 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 yo.
Man, when you feel hungry, don't you have to eat?
Yo, yo, pump up the volume and digest this beat.
RapScallions in the house with this lyrical treat.
When we're done with you, you're gonna ice your feet.
If the world ends tomorrow and you had one chance,
Hey, yo, would you start the move like it's your last dance?
yo, do something small in the past and present changes.
Do something now, the future rearranges.
Cause bitches keep bitching.
Yo, snitches keep snitching.
The world keeps turning.
And you start living your life instead of hitching a ride. RapScallions.